Now the loud roaring hero feels in his fullest fury that valiant vehemence which surges up within when he confronts his rival in poetic craft, sharpening smooth-talking tusks just like a boar, his frenzied passions going to make those eyeballs roll. The battle's here at hand, helmet-glancing war, horse-crested words, while splintered axles break apart. As subtle chisel works tries to push and parry, steel-prancing phrases from the man who builds our minds. The bristling crest erect there on his shaggy neck, his natural hair a fearful scowl upon his brow, and bellowing, he'll launch his language fixed with bolts. Like planking for a ship, he'll rip the words apart, blasting with his giant's lungs. The other man, the one who works his mouth, who tortures every word, unrolling his smooth tongue and shaking an enemy's rein, will dissect and parse those words, and, splitting hairs, refute all the large labor of the former's lungs.
I'll not give up the chair. No more advice. I say I'm better in poetic skill.
Why are you silent, Aeschylus? You hear the claim he's made.
His high and mighty pose, he does that at the start of every play, some hocus pocus for his tragedies.
My dear fellow, that's too much big talk.
I know the man, and for a long time now I've studied him. He makes crude characters with stubborn tongues. As for his own mouth, it's unrestrained and uncontrolled, unlocked. No proper discourse, bombastility.
Is that so, you garden goddess child? You say that of me, you gossip monger, a beggar's poet who picks and stitches rags. You'll regret those words.
Hey, Aeschylus, hold on. Don't fire up your heart so angrily with such ill will.
No, I won't go back till I've exposed the man and clearly proved this cripple's poet is a boastful fool.
Hey, boys, bring out a sheet, a black one too. Looks as if the storm's about to break.
Collecting all those Maimonides from Crete, importing impure marriage into art.
Whoa, hold on there, much honored Aeschylus. And you, my poor Euripides. Back off beyond this breaking storm. That would be wise, in case his anger cracks your skull in two. Some heady phrase makes all your brain leak out, you're here at Telephos. And you there, Aeschylus, don't get so angry. Test him, but calmly. And then be tested too. It's just not right for poets to engage in such abuse, like two women selling bread. You bellow as if you were a tree on fire.
I'm ready. I don't mind biting or being bitten first, whichever he prefers, about my diction, or the songs and sinews of my tragic plays, and by God about Pylades too, my Meleager or my Aeolus, or even more about my Telephos.
What do you want? Tell us, Aeschylus.
I have no wish to enter battle here. The war we fight is not on equal terms.
Why is that?
My poetry did not die with me, but his did once he died. So it's down here. He'll have to with him when he wants to speak. But nonetheless, since it's what you want, we must go through with this.
Come now, someone bring an offering here, and fire as well, so I can pray before this contest starts, our battle of the brains, and judge this fight with maximum aesthetic expertise. Now, for the muses, you should sing a song.
O you 9 sacred muses, mighty Zeus's virgin daughters, gazing down on subtle minds. You see intelligence at work in men who write our maxims. When such as these go out to fight, with counter-arguments and tricks, with fiercely studied wrestling moves, with crooked throws, come to us here. Observe the power of these mouths, their awesome skill in making words, sawing phrases up like sawdust. Now our great contest in this art stands ready. Let the business start.
Before we have you to recite your lines, you ought to offer up your prayers.
O Demeter, who nourishes my mind, let me be worthy to be there in your mysteries.
It's your turn. Take some incense. Make an offer.
All right, but I pray to different gods.
Personal ones. Your very own. Freshly minted.
That's right.
Then pray away to those private gods of yours.
O air, my food. O pivot of my tongue. O native wit, O nose that smells so fine. Whatever words I seize upon, let me refute them, let victory be mine.
Now we're filled with great desire to hear from poets with such skill the pathway in this war of words they'll walk along. Their tongues are wild, with a lack of boldness in their mood, nor are their intellects asleep. It looks as though we're going to see one man say something quite urbane, and finally shrink. The other one will seize him and his arguments, the roots and all, and then attack and scatter words around the place like vessel rolling on a mat.
You must both speak at full speed. But see you talk this way, with elegance, no metaphors, and nothing someone else might say.
All right, as for myself, the kind of poet I am, I'll say that in my final words. For first, I'll demonstrate that this fellow's a fraudulent. He's a cheat. I'll show just how he took them in and reared their fools on Paris. So, first he'd wrap a person up and sit him down with his face hidden away, some character like Niobe or Achilles, mere window dressing for the tragedy. They didn't speak or mutter.
That's right, they didn't.
And then his chorus thumped their lyrics out, strings of them, 4 in a row without a break, and the character just sat on in silence.
Well, I liked that they kept quiet. It pleased me. It wasn't any worse than those today who babble on and on.
You were a fool, no doubt of that.
I think so too. But why so? What did our friend here do that?
It was a trick designed to keep spectators in their seats, waiting for when Niobe might start to speak, so the play continued on and on.
What a rascal! How he had me fooled! Why are you fretting there? Fidgeting?
Because I'd caught him out. When he'd played this trick and half the play was done, someone would speak up, a half a dozen ox-like words, with eyebrows, crests, some fear-faced things, full of the boogeyman, which no one in the audience understood.
Oh, how miserable I feel.
Stay quiet, please.
Nothing he said was ever clear.
Don't grind your teeth.
He talked on about Scamander's trenches, shields with brawn-enameled griffin eagles, and hoarse-clipped phrases hard to comprehend.
Yes, by God, one long night I got no sleep from worrying what kind of bird was called the tawny, clear-voiced horse.
You idiot! It was a symbol painted on the ships.
I thought it was Eryxis, Philoxenos' son.
Did you have to work a rooster in just for the tragedy?
You God-forsaken wretch! What sort of plays did you write?
None like you, O horse monsters or goat stags by God, the sort they paint on Persian tapestries. When I first took this art of plays from you, crammed with bombas to the gills, Phocian stuff. First I made it slim, reduced its weight, with vesticles and walks and laxatives. I gave a potion drawn from bookish chat, and I took care in nursing it with Monades.
And you mixed in Cephisophon as well.
I wasn't fool enough to put in there whatever stuff I chanced upon, or add just anything I found. The character who came out first would right away, on my behalf, explain the background of the play.
Which was better than your own, by God.
After those opening words, I never said anything superfluous in the play. No, for me the woman spoke, so did the slave, the master, the maiden, the old woman too.
Well, shouldn't you be killed for even daring this?
By Apollo, no. I was doing my work in a democratic way.
My dear fellow, I forget that. From your point of view, that's not the best line you could take.
I taught these people here to speak their minds.
I'd say so too. And before doing that, I wish you'd split apart right down the middle.
Introducing subtle rules for words for verses nice and trim. I taught them to think, to see, to understand, to love new twists, to understand and to love double dealing, suspect the worst, to be too smart for everything.
I agree.
And I brought in domestic issues too. The useful matters which we understand, things people here could challenge me about. They know their stuff, so they could test my art. I didn't boast or lose my common sense, nor did I scare them all with characters like Cyclonus and Memnon, who walk around with bills attached. Look at our disciples, his and mine. You know them quite well. Meganetus and rough Formosius are his, great long-bearded lance and trumpet men, flesh rippers with the pine, whereas for me there's the neat Thermes and Cytophons.
Thermes. Now, he's a clever man, expert in everything. When he meets trouble, when it hits him in the face, he gets away, no problem, by changing who he is. If being a Chian doesn't work for him, he claims that he's a Chian.
I taught these people here to think about such things. I brought logic into art. I made them questioners. Now they see everything and understand it all. Their minds are more profound. Now they ask, where's this? How's it going? Who took that?
Yes, by God, that's what they do. Now each Athenian man goes home and starts to yell, to scream at his own servants, where's my pot, my sardine, who's bitten off its head? My bowl from bygone years, is it too dead and gone? And where's my garlic clove? I had it yesterday. Who's munching on my olives? Before this, they just sit and gape there stupidly, like little mummies boys and sweet, silly-toothed fools.
You see this, radiant Achilles. Come now, what can you say to him? Don't let your anger take control and carry you beyond the track. He's charged you with some dreadful things, but now, you noble gentlemen, respond to him, but not with wrath. Haul in your sails, accept the tips, and bit by bit, bring in your ship. Keep watching for an easy wind. You just may get a gentle breeze.
Now you were the first among the Greeks to raise the solemn towers of spoken words, adorning them with tragic gibberish. Be strong and spout forth eloquence.
This trial enrages me. It pains my spleen to have to answer to such a man. But still, to stop your claim that I'm the incompetent one, you answer this for me. Why should anyone admire the man who is a poet?
For cleverness and good advice, since we help improve the men who live within our cities.
So if that's something you didn't do, instead, taking fine and decent men and turning them into scoundrels, what would you say you deserve by way of punishment?
Death, but don't ask him.
Consider first the nature of men you got from me. Were they not nobly born and 6 feet tall? They were no runaways, no layabouts, no scoundrels, no never-do-wells like today. No, these men breathed spears and javelins, right-crested helmets, cornets and greaves, with passage wrapped in 7 oxide poles.
This is getting bad.
His helmet making wears me down.
What exactly did you do to make these men so noble?
Aeschylus, speak up. Forget your pride and stubbornness.
I wrote a play brimful of war god Ares.
Which one was that?
My 7 against Thebes. Every man who saw it fell in love with war.
But you did something bad there with the Thebans. You made them more courageous in the war. For that, you should be slapped.
You people too, you could have trained yourselves for war as well, but you weren't so inclined. Then, after that, by putting on my Persians, I instructed them so they were always keen to beat their foes, thus honoring our finest act.
I was pleased when you cried out in sorrowful lament, "O child of Darius, he's dead!" And then the chorus clapped its hands and all yelled out, "Boo-hoo!"
Poets need to work on things like this. Look back, they've been useful from the start. The noble race of poets. There's Orpheus, he taught us rituals and not to kill. Musaeus showed us cures for sicknesses and oracles as well. And Hesiod taught farming, harvest times, and how to plow. As for divine Homer, where his renown is special fame, if not in what he taught, those useful facts about courageous deeds and battle ways and how men arm themselves.
Well, that may be, But Homer didn't teach a thing to Panticles, that clumsy oaf. The other day, while marching on parade, he clipped his helmet on and then tried to tie the crest on top.
And brave men too, Homer gave us lots. With them, the hero Lamachus. I took Homeric warriors, and let my brain write many noble deeds, like great lion-hearted fighting men, Patroclus and Teucer. In this way, I urged our citizens to match themselves with them when they heard the trumpet sound. But by God, I never made a single wife like Phaedra or that Zenobia. No one's ever known me as a man who writes about the way a woman loves.
No, by God, whatever you possess, there's nothing there of Aphrodite.
Let her stay away, but she took her seat when she sat down hard on you and yours. She really squashed you flat.
She sure did, by God. What you wrote about the wives of other men, you had to suffer with your own.
You wretched man, how is my said boy harmed our state?
Because you helped persuade noble wives of well-born men to drink down hemlock, ashamed of foes like your Bellerophon.
My Phaedra story. Did I make that up?
No, it was there, but it's a poet's task to conceal disgrace, not put it on parade, front and center, and instruct men in it. Small children have a teacher helping them. For young men, there's the poets. We've got a solemn duty to say useful.
When you spout on about Lycopedes and subjects like the magnificent Parnassus, does this involve your teaching useful things? We need to use the language people use.
You pestering demon, don't you see that noble thoughts and fine ideas perforce produce a language of commensurate size? Besides, it's fitting the demigods to speak in loftier terms, just as they wear much finer robes than ours. But you besmirch what I displayed with such nobility.
What did I do?
First, you dressed your kings in rags to make them pitiful to all who watched.
If I did that, what damage did it do?
It's your fault no rich man anymore is keen to pay out money for a ship. Instead, he wraps himself in rags and weeps and whines about how poor he is.
By Demeter, that is true. But underneath, he wears a tunic of pure wool. And then, if he deceives them with a speech like that, he pops up in the market by the flesh.
And then you taught them how to babble on with stupid gossip. So the wrestling school stood empty, and the buttocks of our young, who chattered all the time, were quite worn out. You then convinced Carolus' school to argue with their officers. In my day, they were ignorant of this. All they knew was how to yell for food and cry, yo-ho.
By Apollo, that's right. And how to fart straight in the faces of their rowers or poop on sailors below, their messmates. On shore, they'd rob someone. Now they talk back. They never row. They just sail out here and there.
What crimes is he not guilty of? So now because of him, our city here is crammed with bureaucratic types and stupid democratic apes who always cheat our people. Nobody carries on the torch. Nobody's trained in that these days.
No, by God, they're not. That's why while at the Panathenaic Games, I laughed myself quite peerless. A slow, pallid, porky runner went on by, head drooping down far behind the rest. In that race, he wasn't very good. Well then, the folks at Caramaeus gate began to whack him in the gut and to hit him in the ribs and sides and butt. While their hands were slapping him, he let rip a tremendous fart which killed the torch, and then on he ran.
The event is huge, the strife intense, the mighty war goes on. It's hard to choose. When one man presses hard, the other one wheels around and launches the attack once more. You two, don't stay inactive where you sit, for wit knows many varied ways to strike. And so, no matter what you're fighting for, speak out, set to, bring up your works, the old and new. Put your daring to the test, say something that's intelligent and deft. Don't be afraid, the people watching here are just too ignorant and will not see the subtle points in what you two may say. Don't worry on that score, for it's not true. They served in wars, and each man owns a book. He understands the witty parts. You see, it's in their nature to possess strong minds, but now the whetstones really sharpen them. So have no fears. Examine everything, at least for the spectators' benefit, since they've become so wise.
Alright, I'll turn towards the prologues you composed so I can start with a test to check the first part of a clever poet's tragedies. In setting down just how events occurred, this man was never clear.
Which one will you test?
Quite a few. But first, you'll recite for me an opening from your Orestia.
Let everyone keep quiet. Achilles, speak.
O Hermes underground, who oversees my father's power, be my rescuer, my ally. Answering the prayers I make, I've come back and returned unto this land.
You see some flaws in this?
More than a dozen,
But the whole thing's only 4 lines long.
and each of them has 20 errors.
I warn you, Aeschylus, keep quiet. If not, you'll forfeit these 4 lines and owe some more.
Am I to remain silent just for him?
I think that's best.
Right at the very start, he's made a huge mistake, as high as heaven.
You do see you're talking rubbish.
If so, it doesn't bother me.
You claim I'm wrong. Well, where are my mistakes?
Recite the start again.
O Hermes underground, who oversees my father's power.
Orestes says this at the tomb of his dead father. Does he not?
I won't deny it.
Since his father died a brutal death at the hands of his own wife and by a secret trick, how can he claim that Hermes watches over anything?
That's not my sense. When he speaks, he means Hermes, god of luck, who watches all the dead. And his words clearly show that this Hermes obtained that office from his father Zeus.
So you've made an even bigger blunder than I thought. If this subterranean job comes from his dad,
If that's the case, he's a great robber on his father's side.
That's cheap wine you're drinking down nice. It lacks bouquet.
Recite another line to him. And you, take care about the damage you inflict.
My father's power be my rescuer, my ally, answering the prayers I make. I've come back and returned unto this land.
the skillful Aeschylus has just revealed the same thing twice.
How so?
Look at the verse. Alright, I'll tell you. I've come back is followed by the word returned. To come back and returning, they mean the same.
Yes, by God! Exactly like a man who says to someone, hey, lend me a baking dish, or if you like, a dish for baking.
You blithering idiot, it's not the same at all. That line of verse has beautifully chosen words.
It does? Then show me what you mean.
To come unto a land refers to someone with a native home. He's come back. There's nothing else implied. But when a man arrives who's been an exile, he comes back and returns.
By Apollo, that's good! What do you say to that, Euripides?
I say Orestes didn't return home. He came in secret, without permission from those in charge.
By Hermes, that's good. But I don't get what you mean.
Come on then, try another line.
Yes, let's have some more. Get a move on, Aeschylus. And you, keep on looking out for something bad.
On this heaped up burial mound, I pray my father hears and listens.
It's there again. He's saying the same thing twice. To hear, to listen, obviously the same.
Well, you fool, he is speaking to the dead, and we don't reach them even with a triple prayer.
All right, how do you compose your prologue?
I'll tell you. And if I say the same thing twice, or you see some extra padding there, then spit on me.
Come on, speak up. I need to clearly hear the language in your prologues working well.
Oedipus, from the start, was a lucky man.
By God, no, he wasn't. His nature gave him a dreadful fate. Before his birth, Apollo said he'd murder his own father. He wasn't even born. How could he be a lucky man right at the very start?
Then he became the most wretched of all men.
No, by God, he was always that way. And why? Because as soon as he was born, he was thrown out into the cold in a pot. And he would grow to a murderer from his father. He dragged himself away to Polybus on mutilated feet. After that, he married an old woman, although he was quite young, and as it turned out, she was his mother. And so he poked his eyes out.
Then he'd have ended happy after all, if, like Aristonides, he'd have been a general.
You're being stupid. I make my prologues well.
Is that so? Well, by God, I won't scratch each phrase word for word, but with a little help from the gods, I'll kill your prologues with a little oil jar.
My prologues? with an oil jug?
Yes, and just one. The way you write, well, everything fits in. A little fleece, a little oil jug, a little bag. They all mesh nicely with your iambics. Let me demonstrate.
What's this? You'll demonstrate?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
All right, Euripides, you've got to speak.
Ancient toast, so many people say, with 50 children in a rowing boat, landing in Argos.
Lost his little oil jug.
What's this stuff about an oil jug? You'll regret this.
Recite another prologue, so I can see the point again.
Dionysus, clothed in fawn skin, leaps among the torches on Parnassus. On that mount, he waved his Thesaurus, and there he danced and...
Lost his little oil jug.
Oh dear, we've been stricken with an oil jug once again.
It's no big deal. In this next prologue, he can't tie in his little oil jug. Among all men, there's not one living who's blessed in everything. Nobly born, he lacks sufficient livelihood. Or else, if basely born...
He's lost his little oil jug.
Euripides,
What?
it seems to me that you should haul in your sails. This little oil jug is going to introduce a mighty storm.
By a meter, I won't even think of it. Here's one that will knock that oil jug from his hand.
All right, recite another one. Take care, keep distance from that little oil jug.
Abandoning sight and sleep, Cadmus ignores sun.
Lost his little oil jug.
My dear fellow,